everyone. Very happy to be here and extremely happy that the team here has put this summit together, because we definitely need things like these to happen more often. We need this dialogue to be able to see what social media is capable of, especially across different industries for different objectives. So I think for the start, we're going to start with a video clip.
How do you generate mass awareness and build engaged momentum towards the teaser release of an upcoming blockbuster with 48 hours of prep time, 2 pieces of content, and 6 days to create a national impression using just social media? For the summer release of Ali Zafar's Tifa in Trouble, we were tasked with generating conversation, hype, and 1 million views on the key teaser upon its digital public release, timed with a big reveal at the 2018 PSL launch ceremony in Dubai. We took a page out of the e-commerce playbook and used Facebook's custom audiences, retargeting, and paid capabilities to craft a storytelling funnel with the singular aim of creating curiosity with each successful conversion. We started by releasing this clip on the 16th of February.
ये तीफा कौन है?
With a great first impression out the door, it was time to amp up the noise. We used Facebook's suggested video tool placement to create viral shorts that started invading people's Facebook feeds.
ये तीफा कौन है?
ये तीफा कौन है?
क्या मतलब है तीफा कौन है?
यार ये है कौन तीफा?
आपको पता है तीफा कौन है?
मेरे को पता नहीं।
नहीं पता।
ये तीफा कौन?
Using a custom audience that we created with the viewership of all the video content that we'd put out so far, we created a retargeting campaign that put out a few memes out there from our end and encouraged users to come up with their own. And come back they did.
ये तीफा कौन है?
मैं हूँ तीफा।
तीफा कौन है?
ये तीफा कौन है?
आपको पता है ये तीफा कौन है?
Within just 2 short days, we managed to get more than 500 pieces of content, including more than 100 videos, all asking the central question or answering it: who was Tifa? So with just 2 days left to go to the big reveal, we put out a short bonus clip and then increased the amount of friends that joined in.
ये तीफा कौन है?
ये तीफा कौन है?
तीफा?
ये तीफा कौन है?
ये तीफा कौन है आजकल? यार ये तीफा कौन है भाई? कौन है तीफा?
ये तीफा कौन है?
ये तीफा कौन है? आइए इसे मिलकर अपने प्यारों के साथ यार इसे रोक लेना। अरे यार रोक जाना यार।
और ये तीफा कौन है?
Members of the press across Pakistan were specifically targeted so they could see what was happening and report. Meanwhile, the fun continued.
मैं हूँ, माँ किधर है?
मार में क्या है? मार मैं ही तो हूँ ना यार।
मैं तीफा हूँ क्योंकि माँ इधर है। मैं तीफा हूँ। ये तीफा क्या है?
With just 1 day left to go till the teaser launch and great momentum with all the content we put out so far, fans were eagerly waiting in anticipation of the release.
Darth Vader. Only you could be so bold.
Tell me, who is this Tifa? I know you knew him pretty well.
On the eve of 22nd February, as Ali took the stage in Dubai, we released the official teaser on our Facebook page. Pakistan and the world would finally know who Tifa is. Our gamble paid off and the results were astounding. With more than 500 shares in the first hour alone organically, the teaser video went on to take 1.1 million views in just under 24 hours. With a specific set of targeting and retargeting tools put into place to set up this funnel, our objective was to try and convert as many people who saw the first content towards converting to the last piece of content. And with a 50% conversion rate down the funnel, that beats most e-commerce benchmarks out there at the moment. The total campaign from start to end lasted for 6 days and went on to get more than 8,000 shares, 14,000 comments, 1.1 million people taking action, contents, 2.4 million people reached as a direct result of social media advertising, and approximately 7.4 million earned media impressions because of the way we targeted journalists on social platforms. All this for just a little over $3,500.
The purpose of this was to essentially create buzz, excitement, and fan engagement for the release of Tifa Trouble's teaser. This was timed with Ali going on stage at the PSL launch ceremony for 2018. The only thing with this was we were given about 24 hours of prep time for this, and we only had 2 pieces of content to get this out. So what we did was essentially build up a sales funnel, which you normally do in e-commerce, and use the same kind of methodology to try and get people to see a sequential series of messages, and created a lot of content around it. The impact, the 3 things that I would like to talk about based on this experience and what were our learnings, is going to be covering cost, it's going to be covering time, and it's going to be covering impact. So in terms of cost, traditionally, if you were to take something like this onto broadcast mediums, you would need at least a month of prep time, and you would need to have a budget of roughly $10,000 to $15,000 minimum if you want to cover a period of 6 days. Similarly, on radio, you would get the same kind of reach for around $2,000. The time aspect of something like this, there's a lot of time involved in creating this content. There needs to be a standard quality assurance, which then goes on to a live broadcast before this content is seen by millions. In terms of radio, we've got the same kind of dynamics. With social media, on the other hand, it's an always-on medium and it's non-linear, so you can come in at whatever time you want and set your rules. If you're able to put in advertising spends behind this, it takes on a completely different tangent, because with just $3,500, we were able to expose this message to over 2.4 million people in a very short period of time. And I don't believe in this day and age, if we were to try and attempt the same thing by taking this onto radio or onto TV, that we could have pulled something like this off. Last, most important thing is the impact. With traditional legacy broadcast mediums, we've got a one-way conversation going on. It's not interactive. You really can't harness the power of community. In this particular case, the most important thing that we had to do was not just to advertise this content in front of people, but build the right kind of curiosity, build the right kind of engagement, so when the time came to release the teaser 6 days later, we had fans really up, passionate, and really looking forward to exploring that central question of who Tifa was. I think this opens up a lot of ideas and potentials that the Pakistani entertainment industry can explore, specifically with the release of not just big blockbuster movies, but also smaller artistic indie releases can have the same kind of impact that we achieved with this particular activation. In the end, I'd just like to say, with social media, you need to make sure that whatever you're putting out there needs to have the audience in mind and not yourself. The objective of this is to have a conversation, much like a lot of the conversations we're going to have today. And if you keep that as the central core of any strategy that you're making, chances are you'll succeed more often than you won't. Thank you.